Super Hits 104.9 WAXI, Rockville, Clinton.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
I think those are right.
I'm not trying to scoot you out.
There's a big crowd here
Just
tonight.
trying to get over.
I know, I may just get going around.
I know.
It's not
Go ahead and take a second to look over meeting minutes from last month.
One more shot. Probably more than one. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Same to you. Yes, same to you.
We'll try to make it short so everybody can get back to their significant others that none of us have, except for Natalie.
I got beautiful flowers back there.
Oh, where did donuts come from?
I
The
would
food
say
pantry.
next door.
Oh, the donuts, yeah, they came from the pantry. They didn't think they were gonna survive till the next go around of the pantry, so they brought them over.
Yeah. Take one home with you.
Put it up there for you, Natalie. Everybody had a chance to look over the meeting minutes for last month. Can I get a motion for approval? Any comments, changes, anything?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Who seconded, Becky?
We were the only
Okay.
ones here to know what went on.
Yep. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Perfect. Okay, we will move on to, you've got departments here. Is that, are we changing departments
Oh,
or?
every year you guys talk about, Barb doesn't have a department yet, does she?
No.
Okay.
And it's not necessary.
So, John has always had water and sewer. Cody, what do you have? Park and
Park.
police? Who's got
I've
police?
never had, no, police I think was John.
John McGlynn had police. So police is up for grabs, Barbara.
So you can either do police, or if you want park, you can have.
Do I get a
don't
personal
care.
number?
You can get a
You
personal
get a
number.
badge?
A badge and a personal number? All I need. With my
Um,
walking stick, we'll have it made.
If
So-
you'd rather have park, you can have it. I'm not concerned either way. It's up to you.
Police is fine.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Bratcher, Barb is your new.
From now on.
So everyone else is keeping the
Wait a minute,
same.
someone's talking in my ear over here.
I told Barb I need her to do parks. Because we're gonna do the grand thing unless Cody really wants to do parks.
Do you really want the park, Cody?
That's up to if you want. I don't care. I'll do whatever.
Okay, I'll take park, he can have police.
Okay. Well, I'll take
Okay,
give you my
so
walking
Becky's
stick.
got fire. Carol has cemetery.
Criminals are breathing a sigh of relief. From
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
frightened.
Cody's taking he's taking police. John has water sewer. He should be home, by the way.
Good.
And
Good.
Barb's taking.
I left her a message yesterday.
I spoke to him on Friday, I think. I talked to him Friday. So, okay, and then you need to do the other two things I said on there.
Election of officers.
Yes.
Are we like president and vice president?
Yes, like you, and I mean, you don't have to make any changes. You can do whatever you want. We should have done this at the last meeting, but we only had 3 of us here, so
Yeah.
we didn't do it.
Oh.
So,
We said
yeah.
that we're gonna make Barb the president and Becky the vice president.
Oh no. Look at yourself in the mirror, son. You are
That's
the-
how it happened. I wasn't here the last time.
he wasn't.
And
He
if-
And
wasn't.
I
He came
became-
back to the VP.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
And it will
well, that-
happen again if you don't
That's what I
volunteer.
said. Cody's not here. Can we elect him vice president? And that's what,
That's what we need to do.
So
John
do
said
we
it
want
was
to keep
okay.
John as president, or
as far as we know, I think he.
okay?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I spoke to the town attorney yesterday, and I've needed a lot of signatures lately from the presidents that we're going through all these grants, and he said it's absolutely acceptable for me to have Cody sign
Okay.
since he's been unavailable.
Okay.
Okay.
He said that is not a problem, Natalie. You just mark that as VP, and if anybody has any questions, then we explain why he signed. So
Alright.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I guess I will
Smeagol, Smeagol.
stay.
Shall we just
Vice
keep things
President. Yeah.
as
Let's
they
keep
are?
things as
Okay.
are.
I make a motion that we keep things the way they are.
As is.
You have to
other
do it legally.
than-
Do it. the right way. Okay.
Okay. And then choose a town attorney. Is that? the
yeah,
next
you just
thing
have
we
to
need
decide if you want to pursue someone else or if we want to retain Scott.
Y'all want to
Has Scott
find a
been doing-
different find a different attorney, or we want to stick with Scott?
Has Scott been doing the job?
Yeah.
Scott's
Scott's
available
up
when I call. He's very
That's what I mean.
helpful. He's
Very
been great.
competent.
Yes.
Want an explanation?
So
Okay, keeping town attorney.
somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, perfect. Did we need to make a motion and stuff on the others as well? On departments?
I
and-
don't think we need to make
Okay.
a motion on department heads, and I don't think I think we're fine on the offices. So, Barb made a motion, Carol made a motion, or Carol seconded. So now vote, and we'll retain.
All in favor?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. And then,
Those were just my 3 majors
perfect.
from last month that we didn't get done because we didn't have enough people
Well,
here.
it's done now. So, moving on to old business. We want to talk about the position first.
Let's talk about that new business.
Okay, perfect.
As far as old business goes, I have submitted the Title 6 and the ADA plan to NDOT. They couldn't open my file on the first go round, so I sent it to them a little bit differently. They haven't responded the second time I've sent it, but it has gone to them. So that's where we're at on that.
Like I said on that, if they can't open it, we have proof we sent it. That's all that matters.
That's the thing is I sent it as it's so large. Even the scans are so
Yeah.
large. So the second time I zipped them, but I don't know if that helped or not. The first time I actually just sent them a Google link to view the doc.
Which
should be no
able to
problem.
open
That shouldn't have
from
been a
any-
problem. I don't
Yeah.
know why she said she couldn't open it. So, so I sent them. I tried to zip them and sent them down. So, I mean, I'm not super awesome on all that, but
It's probably their firewall is keeping you from opening.
that's what I was wondering too. So,
Community crossings is
okay. So we do have a calendar for community crossings, which I think it must be over on my desk. I got the project manual right here, and then we advertise for bids. I believe it goes in the paper this week. And bids are accepted through, we will open bids on March the 10th. There is like I said, there's a calendar over there. We'll take questions up into the 8th. I really wanted John to look at this with me, but he's really not been available right now. So, trying to find my community crossings calendar. Sorry, hold on a second. Oh, here it is. Alright, here's the timeline. Town council meeting and bid document approval. So, this is the manual. It is 53 pages long. If you guys want to look at the pictures and see the areas that we're doing, we do need to make a motion to approve that. It'll appear in the newspaper.
pass it down. We can pass it back.
It'll appear in the newspaper this next week, I believe. Then it'll upload to the plan room, and then it'll appear again. We'll take questions through the 8th. We'll open bids on the 10th. We have to sign our contract with a contractor. We have to be under contract by mid-March. They give you like so many months to be under contract. And then we'll send those documents to NDOT. I am not going to be in the office at the beginning of the week when questions are due. So I need for some of you guys to come in and out and check with Andrea and see if anyone has any questions. And I can give you more information about what kind of questions that they would have or whatever. But I'm going to be gone for a couple days. And I wasn't looking at that calendar when I planned my being
What
gone.
date is it?
It's the 8th when questions are due, which is a Wednesday. So we'll open bids on the 10th, but I'll be back on the 9th. I'll be back in the office on the 9th. But I'll be out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So,
So questions would be Monday and Tuesday, or
they can just,
and
like, sometimes
Wednesday?
sometimes they come in and they, like, the contractors, most of the time they'll figure it out themselves. But we can also send any questions to HWC. So they'll just have to weigh in. But most of the time they'll come in and measure and do their own specs and stuff. But it's just the only area that I'm concerned about is pretty much on Main Street is it's a little overlay. There's not going to be too much milling since that's a concrete road that's been laid over. There'll be a little bit of milling. My only area of concern, which John and I talked about, and when Brian Fleck was still our engineer, he and I talked about, is that area down around Lowell's Lane where we've had that low spot and we've patched and patched and patched. That spot needs a little bit of extra attention so it's not a low spot again. We have that issue on West Street over here down by the storage units. They just went over and they didn't correct that drainage issue there, and we need to make sure that's correct. I mean, that's Main Street and we're spending a fortune on this project.
Yeah.
So there will be some drainage that goes in with this.
I saw that.
Yeah,
on
there's a
here.
little bit of drainage that goes in with this that's pretty much required. The last engineer, I don't know this new engineer very well. I've only talked to him once. Brian Fleck left to take another job, and he was really easy to communicate with and whatnot. So I don't really have a good feel for this guy yet. Katie Adams has done a lot of our documents too, and she's pretty nice. But that's the only area of concern that I have, is we just want to make sure that that is going to be handled and taken care of by whoever gets the bid. So, and last time we did bids, we only had Wabash Valley bid, but the times before when we've opened bids, we've always had 2 other contractors bid, so it'll just depend. Which Wabash Valley is now Milestone, they're not Wabash Valley anymore, so.
So it looks like they're gonna, like, when you're turning into, like, Map Street. And
Yeah,
stuff.
they'll do those edges of the streets,
Okay,
yes.
because they're coming in several feet, it looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah, they'll come in and they'll blend them.
And put a drainage there?
I think there is a little bit of drainage
Yeah.
scheduled for Map Street, yes.
That's
Well,
good.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
'Cause
Yeah.
we need some there.
Yes, we do need some there, so.
Right, that's good. It looks like in the yard next to Map Street, there on, we put a drain in there. Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so stormwater project,
Stormwater
Everything.
project we will be announced February 23rd. We will know.
Unknown caller.
Oh, it's just my spam people.
Oh my gosh, I have put her on the do not call list, you guys. It's not working. Barb gets more spam calls than anyone I
what do
know.
you have?
23 yesterday.
20. This
What do
is
you
no
have?
joke.
Street on there?
She seriously does. I blocked so many
What do
freaking
you
numbers
have?
the other
Did you
day.
just get a new phone number?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
It's the very-
Verizon has an
Stormwater.
app, that's what I was gonna ask.
Okay. On stormwater. So
We should know February 23rd.
we'll know February 23rd. I do have some documents from the Indiana Finance Authority on the
No.
financing piece of that.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
We will have to borrow $149,000. If we get the full grant, we throw in our ARP, we still are $149,000 short. So we're taking out a loan for that. All right. Now, I talked to Scott Craig about this because he was copied on the emails too. This will be a bond, and he said it's not. He said it's not the easiest financing. He said there's some extra things we're gonna have to do to go along with it, but I haven't really looked this stuff over. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something with this by now or not. I don't really know. Christy hasn't told me, so that's where we're at on that. But she's really confident that we're gonna get that stormwater grant. She's really feeling confident, and I did talk to her earlier this week, or late last week. We are supposed to start collecting our stormwater fee in March.
Okay.
That's what we said we would do. So I put a call into Keystone yesterday to add that onto our bills. I'm waiting for them to send me the quote, and I'm hoping they can get it done before we run March bills, because I don't really think I don't know if I understood it to be that we would bill for March usage, and that would be the April 1st bill.
I didn't think we had to
You
do
know.
it until it was okayed.
Right, so that's February 23rd that it announced. So that's where I'm at on that one. So I've called to have them add it to the bills.
Did you
And then
guys
I-
have to advertise that in the newspaper?
Yeah, all that's been advertised. It's going to be $7.50 per wastewater customer. Water only customers won't pay it.
Just need to turn the ringer off.
And I still have a couple other questions about that. I'm gonna have to call Scott and Christy on the fee and how because it'll add a fund, but I think I can just put that money with the wastewater funds because stormwater is considered a wastewater. I don't think I need another bank account specifically. So
Okay.
And how much was that?
$7.50.
Okay.
Then on to the grant. We did get the grant, correct?
We did get the USDA grant. We got, what they tell us on Thursday last week, Kevin?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Mm-hmm. USDA grant was approved. 61,500.
500.
Yay.
So after we sell the police car to West Terre Haute. They've already signed a commitment to purchase for $18,000. So after the 61.5 and the 18,000, we are left to finance 31.5, 32.
Depending on the final number.
Yeah, depending upon the final
right in
numbers.
that 32.
Right
neck of the
around
woods.
$32,000 is what we'll finance through IFA at 3.5, I believe.
What were we selling the truck for?
We haven't said yet.
Okay.
We haven't talked about selling the truck yet. So we will have two brand new vehicles for a purchase price of like $32,000 out of pocket. So we've done awesome, and that's before we sell the truck. And that does include a new snowplow as well, so we'll be able to sell our snowplow too.
Really? That's not that old either.
It's not that old, but it is a straight plow, and this will give us a V plow, so we will be up to date in the snow removal industry.
Great.
Yeah. So not that it snows anymore, so
Yeah.
I like
but we're ready. So yeah, so then we can decide, on our truck, because we don't expect to get these vehicles until summer.
I would say the police car will probably be late July, August. I'm not sure on the town truck.
Yeah.
She wasn't able to give me a date until the order gets into Ford, but she couldn't do that until she got the PO, and we just got that to her Thursday. So.
Yeah. So
So there's
But yes.
JBs, huh? Okay. all right,
very,
that
very
makes sense.
successful.
there's the
So you guys signed, what you signed was this conflict of interest certification and disclosure form. This is for
O'Neill.
the USDA grant.
Is it McMahon? Yeah, okay.
Hey,
got
are
it.
you guys listening to me?
what?
No.
This form that you signed, this conflict of interest certification and disclosure form, this is for the grant for the police car. This is part of that grant.
Okay.
So that's why you signed those tonight.
Oh,
The nepotism ones are just the annual ones we do every year.
Gotcha.
so they're going to
Okay, any other old business?
That alley that's been so
Chatty
nice.
Cathy's down there tonight.
They are chatty
going.
Cathy's tonight. They're still looking at those bid documents for that.
We all know
They're
it's not
excited
ready
about
to
new
move,
roads.
but
I know.
It's,
So am I.
Especially down there in the south end of town.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Right,
guy
for sure.
drives that big dump truck down it and parks in the back now.
So at some point, after you guys are satisfied with these bid documents, you need to approve them formally.
For
Which
the
I think we know what
What'd
we're
she
looking
say?
at.
crossings.
That's because you're talking.
Okay,
I said you need to approve these community crossings bid documents through motion.
okay. So, anyone want to make a motion to approve the community crossings bid?
I make a motion that we.
Okay. Anyone second? Okay, Becky. Okay.
Who's the second?
Becky.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Any other old business? Carol, what are we gonna do about the sign over here? When we're gonna tackle that? Me and
Oh.
you.
Well, I am starting to feel better, so I thought I would. Natalie needs somebody in here to, on the phone that, so I might.
Oh, during
come-
that March time, yeah.
And you say you're off on Monday,
I typically
Tuesdays?
do Monday and Tuesday now,
Okay.
yes, I try.
So it'll definitely be a Tuesday. So if you see my car over here, get your paint goods on and,
I never see anything outside my window.
Just text him.
Yeah.
okay.
What are you doing with the sign?
Huh?
What are you doing with the
We're
sign?
just freshening it up and, it's faded and so hopefully it'll look better. We won't get too fancy.
Here, we've had that all these years and everybody else has
I
made a
didn't know you
big
could
deal
just
about
touch up
getting
priceless
theirs.
artwork like that.
Huh?
I didn't know you could just touch up priceless artwork like that.
Oh, well, yes, you can.
Learn something new.
We could just repaint all over it and do new, but if we needed to.
Yeah,
You're keeping
They
the
don't wanna do
integrity.
that.
You're keeping the integrity.
we're going with the theme. How's that sound?
I like this.
Well, now that Wyatt's working at the Swope, maybe we can find some muralists
That'd
so
be
we
great.
can get a
We'd like to
mural.
have a mural.
Yeah.
All right.
I have said.
Did you guys vote on the community crossings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
that's
call. All right.
Carol and Becky.
Okay.
I've said that perfect spot for a nice little mural be that one little like area of the civic center coming into town.
Yes, it
That-
would be good.
Be perfect if we could get a grant for that.
It'd be awesome if we could. We'll do that in department reports. Sorry. You at new business now?
Yes.
In new business, our street superintendent, Mr. McClintock, has let us know he is resigning to take another job. So Thursday this week will be his last day, February 16th.
He had just started, didn't he?
Um,
Months ago?
He's been here for over a year.
Off and on.
And then he left, and then that didn't work out. He came back like
Less
2 weeks
than two- yeah,
later.
it was like-
Yeah. So he said that he's enjoyed the job, and he's just moving on for a better
I tried to get my
opportunity.
little brother to come apply for that when he had applied for it.
Yeah.
Does your little
So
brother still need a job?
I don't think so. I'll mention it to him because I think he would
Where's he
enjoy
live
it.
at?
He lives up north, right on the county line. I think the park Fountain County line up there
Oh.
somewhere.
Oh, that's a
He
way.
works on a farm
Oh,
up
yeah.
there.
pretty
That's a
far,
long
yeah.
way to drive to come get a tree
Yeah,
out of the road.
yeah. Well, when I mentioned to him before, he was kind of thinking about moving back this way.
Moving back this way.
Yeah.
Next.
As far as new business goes, do you guys want to make any changes to the street superintendent position? Is there anything that you think you want to do with that position?
Yeah, I think we should be dropping it down to the 30 hours a week, like we talked about in our executive meeting.
Okay, so you would need to amend the salary ordinance. So your current salary ordinance reads, the town employee working full-time as the street superintendent shall be paid $18.54 per hour from the following funds: 20% from the general, 30% from the MBH, 15% from the water utility, and 30% from the sewage utility, 5% from cemetery open close. This position is paid on a bi-weekly basis. So if you want to take the full-time terminology out of that, you can make that motion to amend it like that, or you can put it in there and you can change it to particular amount of hours per week. So that's up to you guys.
Okay.
It's like section and section.
About the same. I think you should be making 18 something.
So do you guys agree that we're gonna go ahead and drop it down to a 30-hour and just remove the full-time position then?
I think moving it to 30-hour.
And then as
then
needed
Then it could be revisited if
in 60 days?
the work
If it's
warranted.
needed.
Yeah.
If
Okay, if needed, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so, and then we would just need to do another ordinance.
You would just need to amend it again.
Okay.
So, I would just amend it right now, and I would just remove the
Yeah, I
full-time
was gonna say.
classification, and then you guys can make a recommendation that that's what you would like for someone to work. I think that's fair right now.
Okay.
I think so.
Does anyone want to forward a motion for that?
I will make a motion that we change our salary, our street superintendent to
Salary.
Part-time, 30 hours.
Just
And,
you're just removing the full-time
And
status, so
removing
say
the
that.
We're
Just
just
full-time
removing,
status.
okay, we're gonna
Okay.
remove the full-time status of the
So-
state, of the street superintendent.
And then I can second that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll second it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Perfect. Okay, amended.
Okay.
Any other new business that you all can think of?
You can fill that position since we do have someone interested in the position.
Okay, and everybody is. Did we want to have that meeting next week and talk to him, or and offer him it, or?
You cannot offer him you can't make a decision in a special session or an you can make a decision in a special session. You cannot make one in an executive meeting. You can do an executive meeting to have an interview or something like that, and then you could follow it with a special session, at which point you could do some kind of hiring.
Okay,
You
so
need 48 hours notice to do those two things.
we're all in agreement that we're gonna put Mike forward for that, and then meet with him next week to go over the.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
That's up to you guys.
So, I'll make a motion to hire Mike as our street superintendent at 30 hours a week, and we can set up a special meeting with him next week to go over that. A special executive meeting. So,
I'll second that.
okay. Hire Mike.
So this is gonna be a special meeting, not an executive meeting next week?
You can, well, if you're hiring him in the regular meeting, that's fine. If you, you can make the motion to hire him now. You can agree to hire him. Who made the motion to hire?
I did,
Cody made the motion to hire.
and Carol second.
Carol did the second.
So
Then you can have two of you can meet with him without calling a meeting and just let him know what your expectations are for the job going forward. I think that's what you should do.
okay,
It's
That
just,
sounds
yeah.
that works, and so whoever wants to, all.
We'll meet with him and
You just
then-
want to plan on meeting Tuesday
Yeah.
at some point?
I can.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and you can just let him know that you
Okay.
made changes to the
Carol.
hours and the parameters, and that you've done it for several reasons, and that you want to come back and review it and that kind of
Right.
stuff. So
Tuesday, so no meeting required.
So who's gonna meet, Carol and Cody?
yeah,
Yeah, that works.
What time? Or we'll just see what's good for Mike.
Yeah,
I'd just give him a time, guys.
we'll just say like
Yeah,
11 on Tuesday,
Okay. 11 a.m.
What time?
11 a.m.
Okay,
If that
sounds
works for
good.
you.
That's good.
Okay. Did you make a motion? Did you vote?
For the special meeting?
No. Did you vote on the hiring?
Yeah, all in favor of hiring Mike?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Mike
All
Briggs.
opposed? Mike Briddick, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, any other new business?
Subject to agreement.
I just don't know.
Subject to
I
agreement.
don't think, yeah,
guys,
yeah,
did your
subject to
nepotism?
60-day
You did your nepotism stuff.
eval.
I don't really.
Did you hear that? We added subject to a 60-day evaluation.
Okay, that's fine too.
What are we doing now? Can we talk about town properties?
You want to go to department reports, and then
Yeah.
you can. I don't have any other new business unless
I don't
anyone
think I
else
do
does.
either. I've got the water here. Looks like we had 96 penalties, no shutoffs.
We had an accidental shut off, but that's fine.
Oh,
Obviously we
we
did.
won't talk about that.
Right.
We won't talk about Bruno.
Yeah. Right, exactly. We had the major water leak over on Middle. We did call in utility management or out of UMAC, as we call them, Ronnie Black's crew out of Rosedale, they did come down and get that fixed for us. They were here pretty much
Right
all
there
day.
behind.
By Rich's building.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
It was
wondered what
going pretty good.
happened
We had a pretty good one. So, yeah, so that's been repaired. And I haven't heard anything from Rob. I don't think he's having any issues out at the wastewater plant. We got him some fuel for the generator. And, as I mentioned in passing earlier, so Pace Analytics is the one that's been our lab for several years. They do our monthly. They've got this new invoice requirement that your invoice has to be $100 when our testing is only costing about $43. I think it's ridiculous to pay them for something we're not getting. I don't think they should charge us a fee. A minimum invoice fee.
$50.
It's crazy.
Does that mean they only want to bill us when the
I-
bill has come to $100?
Well, we asked that question, and they said no. They'll bill us every time we receive service.
AKA,
And if
they
it's-
just
Yeah,
are
and
upping
if
their
it's not
service cost to
$100,
$100.
if we don't use 100, because that's what Gary asked them. He said, "So can you just wait and bill them every 2 months when it's actually $100?" And they said, "No, our minimum charge is $100 now," and we just think that's not fair.
Yeah, no.
So
What
he's
if you
looking for a
prepay
new
the
lab.
45, so there is no bill?
What'd you say?
What if you prepay the 45, so there is no bill? And
Does
they're
it-
not billing you
I don't
anything?
know. Well, we can't. The town can't
Slip.
prepay anything. The town can't prepay anything.
Oh.
So we can't do that by state statute. So it's really dirty
They got us
business.
so rocky,
Yeah, it's really dirty business. So he is looking for another lab. I will call Pace Analytical and discuss it with them too. That bill is not on your bills because I just think that's really unfair, and I was really confused by it and looked at it for a day, reached out to Gary and his wife, and
That doesn't seem legal.
he said they're a very large company. The lab used to be really small, and they were bought out by them. And he said they pretty much were like, "Sorry, that's how we do it now." So, I don't know.
Just like somebody charging you a flat $89 for a chip charge to come out and do something.
Yeah,
Even if I walk out there and just flip a switch, it's $89.
yeah.
Good
So-
for you for not putting up with it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm not. That's not fair.
Definitely great.
So, looking for a new lab. And Gary thought it was really unreasonable as well. So, and we did call Gary about the leak, but he was unavailable to come that day, which is why we called UMAC. So, and that's all I have on water and sewer.
Okay, anything on street department other than we're finding?
I'm sorry, let me go back one more thing. I do want to say this on water. So that little thing on top of that printer right there, that little black thing with the white cord coming out of it,
Yes.
see it on the top of the computer? That's the water laptop that we read with, and that's the communication port that thing is, I guess. I don't know what else to call it.
Gizmo.
Yeah, it's what reads, like the radio read thing. We need a new one of those because we just do.
Yeah.
And it's $4,000. And so I'm holding off as long as I can. But basically what's happening is our meters, when we put the sensors in for the radio read, and we did those meters, they have like I'm probably saying this wrong, like a 10-year, a 15-year battery or something, and those are starting to wear out. So every time we're reading meters now, it started with we had just a couple manual reads, and every month we get more meters that we have to manually pull the lid and read. So, because these sensors are going bad. And a new one of those will help, but it's not going to correct the problem. Matt Kingery from Midwest Meters suggests that we do an incremental meter replacement because they don't last forever. He said really what you need to say is you're going to replace 10% every year. 10% this year, 10% next year. He's supposed to be getting me a cost on all of that. We can 100% not afford to do that. Water is going to be lucky to break even at our current rates right now with the rise in costs from Duke Energy, and they're just killing us. the electric costs are killing us, and then the chemical costs have gone up considerably. So we were gaining and gaining and gaining. We ended the year in the water fund at about $40,000, which was really good from where we started when I started this job in 2018, with us just making a lot of changes. But we are slowly eating away at that every month with the higher bills, and there's just nothing we can do about it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. So we're going to have to probably consider some water raises. I don't know what that meter project will cost, but we do need to commit to that. It is, things don't last forever.
Well,
So.
didn't we say we were going to raise them every 2 years? And then
We said we were going to revisit them for sure.
Yeah. I think it's.
I believe we have to have a rate consultant on this IFA financing for stormwater. So I don't know if we can do that at the same time. If we hire a rate consultant, they're going to probably say it's got to be higher than what we would want to go. But I don't know. We may have to discuss that. But it's just the Duke bills are driving me crazy. Okay, so
Wasn't it 2% that we've been?
we did 10% 2 years. We did 10%,
Okay.
and then like a couple, like I don't know if it was the next year or 2 years later, we did 10%. Our water rate is actually still pretty low, our flat rate, and I know it stinks to discuss raising this, but we do ourselves a disservice to put ourselves in a bad position, because that leak down there, I anticipate that to cost us no less than $3,500 to repair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, $3,500 of our $40,000 operating budget right now is almost 10%, so we got to think about it like that too. So just want to be fiscally responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought we had passed something when I first started that we were going to every 2 years.
we were going to revisit it every 2 years, because what really put us in a hurt was the previous council. I don't remember ever raising it when I was on the council for the several years that I served. Nobody wants to raise rates, and then no one had raised them before that, and so you went back into like early 2000s where they haven't been raised at all, and then here we are. We have like $5,000 in the water operating fund, and we have to loan. Wastewater has to loan it money, so yeah. And wastewater rates probably are going to have to be reviewed as well, and that's really stinky because they're already high. But it's had so many repairs in the last year, it's not sitting on the fortune that it was sitting on either. So, and everything at the wastewater plant is so expensive every single time. $5,000 here, $5,000 there.
So would 10% be enough on that, or
I don't know.
we need to?
We've
just look into
guesstimated.
that.
We've guesstimated a lot, so we
Yeah.
might need some help this go around.
Okay.
And the help's gonna cost us.
Yes, because it always does. All right, I'm done spewing on that.
Okay, street department. Nothing.
Nope, we're starting to
Other
get some
than-
potholes.
Yeah.
Starting to get some holes.
There's
We
a
talked about
button there, a
community
bit on it.
crossing.
Turn in there by Richie's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Going
so
in the subdivision.
me and Carol be talking to Mike about patching some holes.
Yes,
on
and he's
Tuesday.
really good about that. He
Yeah.
actually got patched from the county last time. He did a really good job last
Yeah.
time. So.
And I noticed the county has been out patching. I mean,
They
it's
have.
been nice days.
You
so
can start patching now.
I,
The right
you know,
material.
I mean, why
I
not?
think
get
our
a-
alleys are probably in need of grading too. It's
Grade.
always nice to grade those when they're a little bit damp. So.
You know, Becky and I were talking about the alley behind her house. It's getting bad. So
Well, it's not bad yet, but it's starting to get soft because it was almost like a blacktop because
Yeah.
they put those millings in there.
Mm-hmm.
But with that dump truck going down it, and then we have more traffic on it now.
Yeah.
But that's something that we'll need to keep an eye on.
One thing, and I don't know if this is really kind of our responsibility or not, because I would say it's probably technically an alley, but the passageway from middle to central, that that goes behind the post office and then through.
That's Woods Alley.
Okay.
That's a roadway.
So, I mean, it's getting kind of
Well,
iffy, but
so
I
here's a
think
problem
it's
with-
because
here's
there's
the
so
problem
much
with
traffic
Woods
on it
Alley is part of Woods Alley was chip and seal at one point in time. So like when you cross over to Central and you go down Woods Alley back there, like if you're going back towards like those few houses that are along there, it's all humped up in the middle from where it was chip and seal. So every time you rock it, it pushes all that rock out and it flows out into the grass. The ideal thing to do is to come down there with the Mini X and pull all the chip and seal out of there, smooth it out, make it all rock.
Well, we did do that one section.
We have done some of that before.
Yeah. And so it's
That's-
just a
yeah.
section behind the Methodist church, I think, now that needs
That
pulled
needs
out.
a little more attention, yeah.
But are you talking about right behind the post office?
Yeah, I'm
He's
talking
talking
about
like that probably needs to
Yeah.
be paved eventually.
Yeah, that's
We
it's
might
getting
need to
pretty
add that to our
bad just because.
next.
And I'm sure it's because there's now so much traffic
Right,
that
from
cuts
Little
through
Bear
there
and
to the
everything.
Little Bear.
Yeah, so. But yeah, that's probably could be added to a community crossings because that is considered a roadway.
Right.
So, yes.
I just thought.
So are we
since-
going to talk about the trail today, or is we just bypassing that?
You can talk about the trail whenever you want to talk about the trail.
Well, I mean, have we contacted anybody else on the council?
We haven't talked to anybody. The recommendation that I received was that we schedule a meeting, and you know what? Really, I think 2 people from the council could schedule a meeting with the Trail Association, and then bring it back for some kind of a decision. I know Mark was here, and I feel like, and maybe I think there's a couple different perspectives on it. I don't think the project's completely dead to go through town, even though I felt like that when he left there it was.
Yeah.
But I think they could potentially revisit that if they have the right funds for that. We could also apply for funding for that, because that would be us as a community connecting to existing trail within our community. But that's where we need to get the park board and all of that going, and we have to develop that 5-year park plan. I have contacted Scott Craig about that. Christy Gerald gave me a sample ordinance for it, but Scott said the statutes have changed just a little bit, so he would work on a new one for us. I just talked to him late last week, so I knew we wouldn't have one for tonight. After you establish the park board, then we do a 5-year park plan. We file that with the DNR, and then we're eligible to apply for those grants. And through the Next Level program, communities can apply. We have to have some sort of a match. It's my understanding that section was going to cost around $350,000. So we would need to have some kind of a match for that. I don't know where we would get that on down the line. But I don't think it's completely
I'd
dead.
rather put that money towards the park than
But I think that,
trail.
and this is just my personal opinion, I don't think we need to cut over to the park. I don't think we need to do any of that work. If it's all or nothing for me.
Right.
If we're not getting the whole lane and all the way down like we thought we were getting, then why waste the asphalt to go over to the park? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I thought they were still doing that part.
Well, they said they would still do that part, but what's the point?
Right.
Well, because we talked to him about the whole thing about in front of the firehouse, and we had him come to the firehouse and meet with our board, and then he said that was way too expensive, but they were going to go ahead and do the part
Right,
down here.
right. But I mean,
Essentially, the trail would cut from the trail to Main Street,
Right.
paved, and then just use
Then
existing
you got to figure it out
sidewalk.
from there up to here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it would pretty much just use existing sidewalk
right.
or
But-
roadway.
But are they committing to paving that? Because I don't know that they are. I don't. That's
Well, they've
just
been up
again.
north. They've been up
They're
north out of
working there,
Shopmeyer's
and they're
working.
working there. They're working in both spots. My point is that do we need to do that now?
I will
I don't think so.
get a hold of Mark and just be like, "Hey, can you come to the next meeting?"
They changed
Yeah.
their name too, didn't they?
They're the Park Trails Alliance. They have been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have been for a while. But yeah, so I mean, we do need to hash that out and kind of sort that out. I have some other questions about that, which I would like, but I would like for more than just Mark to come. I would like their board to come. I think it would be nice if we had
Or if
some
you
other.
could find out when the next meeting is, Cody, if you talk to Mark.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Trail Alliance meets on Thursday nights.
Is it every Thursday?
No, they meet once a month, but I don't know which Thursday it is. But they usually meet at Bridge 61 next to
Okay.
the IGA in Rockville, Kirby Foods, whatever it is now. So I guess I kind of segued into a park discussion there. So
Yeah,
with
that's
the-
fine.
the DNR and all
Because
that.
That's, you know,
Yeah.
that the way it's going now, they're going to be taking away space for the park for no reason other than to just get the main street, which they can just walk the sidewalks that are already there on
You're-
Central Street.
And I agree with that, Carol. I
Yeah.
completely agree with what you're saying on there.
Yeah. Or walk down the road like most of us do.
Our sidewalks on Central Street are really not that bad.
No.
In front of they're not
On the-
that great in front of the one house on the corner.
Right.
But once you get across West Street, they're not that bad till you get to the alley, and then across the street in front of those houses, they're not that bad either. So
Yeah. I'm if they want to, you know, I don't know. What I think we just need to talk to them and tell them what our thoughts are
yeah,
about it. I just would rather have the asphalt all the way. That way we have one really nice trail for everybody and kids and ride their bikes, and it's safe, and that's all I care about right now.
yes.
Okay. Fire department.
They had one fire run, which was a mutual aid for a brush fire, and 3 med runs, so that's a total of 4. Breakfast is on Sunday, 7 to 11, $9.
Yep.
$9 for all you can eat.
Yeah, hopefully eggs went down a little bit. Wow.
They did actually look like they'd gone down the other day when I was at the grocery store.
Cost us last month over $300 for eggs.
For what?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Just eggs.
Sam's has got a 24 pack for $6. That's $3 a dozen. That's pretty
We
good.
use
Huh?
we get 4 cases and there's 30 dozen in a case.
Is that computer making?
Case eggs
Yeah,
was
it sounds
case
like
eggs
it's
was
snoring.
$32. They were 80.
I keep
last
looking
month.
at him like, "Are you
Well, that's
snoring?"
good.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, "I was like, no, it's coming from over here." I was like, "Natalie, are you all right?" And then I was like,
It's
"It's driving me nuts."
It's the computer, yeah.
Okay. Cemetery.
We had one burial and one cremation.
Ain't been selling no graves.
No, but I do have a deed transfer. I'm gonna have you sign, Cody, before you
Okay.
leave.
No, but there's some for sale.
Okay. Okay. Looks like please.
Is that this Sunday, your breakfast?
Yes,
This
the
Sunday?
19th,
Yeah,
right?
Sunday. 7 to 11.
Shall we talk about dogs on our police day? The dog situation.
There was 2 welfare checks, 1 suspicious vehicle, 1 just information, 1 assisting another agency, 1 animal complaint, 1 property damage, and 3 traffic stops. Come on, we need more ticket money.
Yeah, that $4 we get.
Yeah, we get $4 per ticket.
Write a $200 ticket. Hit
Hey,
$4.
I actually got ticket money last year,
Change the
108.
speed limit
I
to
still have
29.
more to go back to.
Then you gotta have your own court. That's how
Yeah.
Clinton does it. They got their own Clinton City Court.
Did not know
How
that.
much money did we end up getting for that drug thing? For the
For the opioid.
yeah. The
Oh, it's
opioid.
on your fund report.
Oh well.
We got
Did you text that on down?
yes, no, you have it in your thing.
I don't.
Your
oh,
fund report.
Oh, everybody's got that one. Okay.
That's the bills you're looking at there.
Well, here's your phone. Oh, that's supposed to
Also.
go that way.
We got opioid money.
I take
The
one
unrestricted
meeting
portion
off.
is $903, and the restricted portion is $2,108.64. And I don't know what we can do with it yet. So
So we need to figure out what we can do with that
yeah,
first.
I'm still waiting on some guidance. Yes. So
Really need to get a bigger air conditioner in there.
In your office?
That one, it struggles because it's not big enough.
Okay.
You'll need to sign.
Okay, do you want to talk about properties, Carol?
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, I'm just, can we get some people to clean up out around town? Yeesh. I know that's not,
Yeah, well, me and Natalie just talked about that yesterday,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
mean-
like I drove around and there was
just going down
I seen
West
3
Street.
couches in yards.
It's bad. I mean, have we had anybody, the burnt house?
Okay, Kevin, you talked to Tammy Landis,
I
correct?
did. She told me that she was going to. First, she wants to sell it, and then she asked me if I knew anybody that wanted to buy it. And I said, nope, not really. And then I said it's an eyesore, and my concern is it's a safety hazard being right across from the park, and the weather's going to be getting warm. She said she was going to have it tore down. Hopefully in the next 30 days, and that was, 10 days ago when I talked to her probably?
Yeah. You
Well-
said maybe by the end of February.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, really at this point, like,
I mean, I'm
If
not a
it's not tore
contractor,
down.
but I would think a big excavator and a few dumpsters, and you could be done in 2 days.
Right.
Yeah. It
I
didn't
mean,
take us
honestly-
long to take that Baldridge Street house
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. And I would think that her insurance, because I'm sure she had insurance, I
Oh.
would think that her insurance has some money for cleanup, even if she doesn't rebuild, they have
Yeah.
to.
yeah, I was gonna say they've definitely gotten paid out. So
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, there's no excuse for it.
Yep.
Our next step is, at the end of February, if no movements on it, what we serve
Well,
them.
I've talked to Natalie about some of the properties, and I honestly, it costs, what, $7 or $8 to send a,
Every certified letter costs like $7 or $8. It's like
Right.
$7.35 or $7.55 now or something like that.
so what I've been thinking about doing is kind of drafting up a form letter and sending that out, because obviously me going and talking to people doesn't work. They're going to tell me what I want to hear, and they're going to do what they want to do. So my thought process was, prior to sending out a certified affidavit, give them a, hey, you got these kind of violations in your yard, we'd like to see you do something in the next
30 days.
10 days, 30 days, whatever that may be.
And
I keep records of that over in the office, in 30 days or so, revisit those. At that point, if there's no change, fill the affidavit out and let that take its course. So that's kind of what I've been
didn't we
thinking
used to
about.
have something we'd hang on the door or a tag of some sort?
Not for that. I don't have anything
I
like
don't
that.
think so. Gosh, this is a really old agenda. I don't know where I got these from.
I could have sworn it.
I talked to you about the trash at a residence over on East Street.
Yep, I've talked to him twice, and he's
Still got a mess.
out of town right now on a pre-planned trip, but when he gets back next week, I'll talk to him one more time, and then we'll just fill out an affidavit, and
Yeah.
he can see that I'm not
We've
going to
also
play.
got trash over here in this truck. Rosedale Town Hall, this is Natalie. Hello? We got trash piled up in this pickup truck over
And
here
see, I
on
don't
West
know what to
Street.
do about that, because it's in his truck, and he still drives that truck.
Well, it's still gross.
Huh?
It's gross.
Well, I
He
know
needs
it's gross,
trash
but
service.
it's in his vehicle, and he's driving the vehicle around. I mean, unfortunately, our hands are tied sometimes by what statutes we can find
Right.
to try to.
Well, I think we need to talk to Scott about it then.
Okay, I'll ask him about that
Because
one.
Yeah, I mean-
maybe the
Okay.
town needs
Because
to
he is
send
cleaning
that.
up around the house.
He has cleaned up a little bit over
He's
there.
cleaned up quite a bit in front of the garage and stuff. There was a bunch of junk in
There
there,
was
but
a
he
bunch of
started to
junk
clean
there.
that up.
Okay, I did talk to Scott about one property in particular where we know that the last heir has passed away. I talked to him about that, and he said, unfortunately, until the taxes are unpaid, there's not a lot we can do with that, unless we really take a lot of steps forward to deem it uninhabitable. It's a hazard to others, it's actually probably pretty boarded up and pretty, I mean, that's a tough one.
It's been the same way for 10.
Yeah, it
15
has for
years.
years and years, and now that it seems like everyone's passed away, it's kind of
Yeah.
even more difficult.
Right.
Now, there's a couple other properties in town that are vacant. There's a pretty big push to try to hold property owners accountable. Vacant properties bring everyone's property values down. They invite kids. They invite animals. They invite just. It's really, really distressing to a community
It
when
is.
houses are vacant and empty and people let them sit. So, you know, you can have these abandoned properties and statues and things like that. The problem is if they're mowing, they're okay. If the structures are, you know, secure, I think you just kind of have to lean on them and say, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that?
Right.
You know, all the neighbors need to, what are you guys going to do with that? Everybody, you know,
Yeah.
we want to see you do something with that. Just community pressure, I think. Is
Once
what we
I
gotta
go talk
with.
to him and then we send an affidavit, it's kind of
Right.
up the hill to Scott then to figure out what
Yeah.
he can do.
Because we can't afford to tear them down.
Right.
We don't have those resources. So, I mean, we just don't. So, like Montezuma's taking they're taking someone to court on a property that they've spec'd out X number of dollars to tear down a couple things, but they're in a big fight and they don't have, you know,
Yeah.
they own their utilities. They have a little more money to play with than we do on that kind of stuff. So, I think that needs to be a little bit of a community effort too. I have some thoughts on that. So.
Has-
But as far as statute violation and ordinance violation, the garbage being piled up and that kind of stuff, that's a health hazard.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is the truck's a health hazard driving around with freaking garbage in it.
Yeah.
And I have to say that this office has been pretty kind to people who've lost their trash service and they've been in a situation and said, hey, okay, we've got a place we can get rid of this. We've got, you know, a couple different things we can access. And
Well, several houses along West Street down here lost their dumpster when the firehouse locked ours.
I'm sure they did.
I was going to say, I can't tell you for how long, you know, I've seen every week the firehouse gets
Yeah.
dumped in. Same with the tavern, like so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I
I don't know if the tavern's locking theirs or not, too. They might be.
it's wide open all the time, so I
Well,
doubt
I
it.
know that the trash can uptown is pretty full most of the time too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, would looking at an ordinance on cleanliness
I think that's
be
actually
something
it's
that
pretty covered in our.
okay.
It's kind of that's kind of covered in an affidavit. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
paying the $8 for a certified letter and sending it out, and then
Yeah, and if they ignore it,
And nothing
what,
happened.
it's up.
and what
Then
can we do? I
that's-
mean,
Yeah, nothing.
that's
Is
where you
there-
got to get Scott involved. He
you know,
knows the ins and outs of the laws.
I mean,
Well,
we can't go on the property and clean it up, can we?
We can after we did
Serve
we
them.
did at the Stevens' residence.
Right.
We did. It was not
And, yeah, it was
ideal.
a
And we
long
spent a lot of
process.
money that we're never going to get back.
Yeah, right.
But we did take it to that point where we got a judge to allow us to do that. But that was through the court system.
So we're
So.
coming up on spring. What do you guys think about maybe doing another community cleanup day?
Well, I think we have
Yeah.
to. I think it's an absolute necessity.
And if, because we talked about last year, maybe doing a second one if we could get it at that certain rate.
And then we didn't get it at that certain rate.
Yeah.
We had some issues.
I was going to say, I wondered if maybe.
I mean, I got it down as low as I could.
Okay.
I think
Sometime in April then? Or
I would say probably early May, late April, early
do
May.
you want to try to use the parking lot again
The parking lot,
of the,
Civic Center.
yeah.
The Civic Center
Or
parking
no,
lot's
Civic
ideal.
Center is rented out. I saw on John Bennett posted he has the Civic Center rented May the 6th
Yeah.
for a workshop, so that parking lot
Can
would
you-
not be
yeah.
available.
Okay. Well, it wasn't bad in the grocery
Can you
store
see
parking
what's
lot.
happening
We
in
kind of the way we set it up
See if
wasn't
there's
bad. It kind of
anything
became like a
going on.
drive-through. So,
I haven't been going.
um,
Sounds like a spring.
No, it's
So
just-
we'll just look
It's
at
just me.
Yeah.
I just-
scheduling that.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll look at the dates for that.
I mean, I will do some stuff, but not.
Yeah.
Alright, so are we to me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the fund report that you have, this is for December. This is completely reconciled, but I have not rolled over because I'm working on the annual financial report. I've had to change several different fund numbers. I changed some fund numbers today. This whole fund number changing thing, I didn't realize how in depth it was going to be and how much it's made my head hurt. But these are your official fund numbers now, and they will not change again. I do want everybody to really start, and as you will see, motor vehicle highway is negative. I am waiting on wheel tax money from the auditor's office. I contacted them in January, contacted them again. I haven't had any wheel tax money since late September. They owe us. That shouldn't be negative is what I'm saying, is that money needs to come in. So I know they're playing catch up, and I've been respectful of that. But we are owed. I know she spec'd out what we should have. So anyway, so I'm working on my financial report. I'm getting closer on it. I gotta call Larry Tippin on the depreciation piece of it. There's a way to make my spreadsheet automatically, that he created for us, automatically depreciate. I just have to touch base with him. I'm hoping to wrap it up by the end of the week. I already filed our 100R, which is the salaries online, and done a bunch of stuff. So I'm hoping I can roll us over the beginning of next week. And just been going through a lot of paperwork for community crossings and the grant with Kevin. We've had signature after signature.
I'll try to have a better date on the pickup truck by next month. She ought to know something.
So it's been busy in here. That's all I got.
Public comments. Okay, none. Motion to pay bills.
I make a motion to pay that.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Nobody wants to second that one. Come
Yeah,
on.
I was gonna say,
I was writing.